Welcome to the YieldMax 100 Share Challenge. This series is dedicated to finding out what would happen if you had purchased 100 shares of each of the ETFs from the YieldMax in groups A, B, C, and D. This week is Group A paid this past week, so we're going to go over Group A. As you can see, we have 10 holdings in Group A. 25,434 is the total invested. That is initial cost plus dividend reinvested. Annual dividend income is $11,764 off the 10 holdings, which comes out to $980 a month. And remember, the YieldMax funds pay every 4 weeks, not monthly. So as you can see, in October we will actually get 2 payments instead of 1. So keep that in mind for the future. I've set an initial goal of $24,000 a year. That way, $2,000 a month. And we are halfway there after 6 payments. How the portfolio is broken down, you can see on the dividend tracker, you get your shares, which were up to 139.41. The average price is $6.80 a share. That's with dividends reinvested. This is your cost basis for these holdings. $4.67 is the current market price. The market value, which is the $4.67 times your $139.41, is $6.51. Your annual dividend on this one is $3.78. That's total dividends, and then the dividends received, as in dividends times shares, would be $5.27. It's at a 55.6 yield on cost, and the current yield is 81%. And you can see the entire portfolio, or the entire Group A, is in the red after 6 payments. We did have some recovery throughout the day on Friday. So crash, as you can see, crash is an inverse. So when the stock market was going down, it was going up, and it has fallen off now that the stock market recovered. Here's the year to date. See, there's that big March, April when the markets were down. This one went up, and then now that the markets are recovering, it's going back down. Here's the spreadsheet from the 17th. We have 139.41 shares. Here's our average cost. It is down $2.33 per share, and it's down $48.96 total off the investment. Our initial investment would have been $700. 100 shares times $7. As you can see, it paid a $31.53 for the dividend. As you can see, these 2 previous ones were really high, and now it's back into its normal range in the 30-cent range. So we did receive $41.18 total. This house with drip, this is house money, or how soon to you this number reaches your initial investment, and then everything you make after that is, some people call it house money. So we're up to $293.41, $41.99, and this is with drip. If you had done this and just taken the dividends as cash payments, which was this column, you can see the monthly payment or the dividend payments here, you would have received a total of $256.07, which is a 36.58% return. Feet is 116.58 shares, and it's down because it has a higher cost. This is a newer one, and that started at $50 when I started the tracking on this. When I did the spread or the dividend tracker and entered the numbers, it was at $46.75 and has dropped $10 $10. This is average, and this is current. So let's look at it. Here's your 116.58 shares. 48.21 was the initial and it's dropped, but it did recover $3 this past pay cycle. It's down 12.16 total, and it's down 618.29 in total value. It's at 12.57% with drip, 11.91 without. These ones with the higher dollar value, you can see they do pay a higher dividend generally. It has some weird fluctuations here. That's probably in the underlying. We had a 164 last payment, 144 this one. So 5E's at 107.69. This is also a new one, 47.81 and 38.58. This is only a 30% yield. And as you can see, there's only 4 payments on this one because it is newer. It is down 10.13 a share, 7.16 in investment loss. This one is also in the dollar range, so 97 is pretty close to its normal payment. So we received $102 for this payment, which gets us to a total of $392.64, 8%. If you would have taken it as cash, it would have been $79.23, which is just this times 100, 7.86. Let's go check out GUI. GUI's 119.51, 1442 average with a 1204 start. Its yields around 40%. It's down 284 against this cost. And how does it look on our sheets? As you can see, this number is much closer. That's because we don't do the dollar cost averaging. I don't add the dividend to the value. And this is just a different way of looking at dividends. You can use them as income, and I consider this just return on investment, not money I'm taking out of my pocket and reinvesting. So that's why I did the spreadsheet. It gives you 2 different ways of looking at it. If you're taking this as cash in a regular brokerage account, you'll have taxes and taxes associated with this number, so remember that. This I'm doing as if you're doing it in a retirement account because you're building for the future. So taxes will be paid when you remove money from your 401 or your Roth. I'm not sure if you do these on Roths. I'll have to find out. Let me know in the comments if you have a Roth and you can buy individual equities like the YieldMax funds in there. That'd be good to know. Share it with the group, please. Okay, so we're down 262 a share. We're only down 27.10 in total cost. As you can see, we've started to drop and now it's going back up. This one has held steady with its payments in the 30-cent range. Last one was 34.49. Work. We have 125.08 shares, so our shares are building because we have a nice low cost. 1070 is the average, 795 is the current, and this is at a 55% yield on cost. So there's the 2508 in your shares. The 795 is 324 off our initial price of 1119. We're down 124.16 total, so we're under $1,000. Hopefully this will catch up a little bit. 31, so as you can see, is not terribly low, which is more than average. So this one is fairly steady. 19.67 with drip and 1801 without. Snowy, look at that. We're up to 134.81 shares. It's at a 1995 average at a 1557. I want to look at the ticker or the there we go. Okay, this is had a high as of 20 and we're down to, here's right before the payment was 16. So not bad. It's lost a few. Here's the market tumbled during here, so all the funds followed. I just wanted to give a quick look at that one. So let's check it out. 134.81. The price is $15.57, which is $5.65 off our initial price of $21.22. This one is almost even. We're down $23.01, so this one's real close. But look at that payment we got this time. $1.31 rounded. So that's a great payment. So they had a good cycle. Total received was $102.60 or 54, excuse me. 55.6636 gives us 26.69% and 23.68%. Tesla, look at that, 150.95 shares. We've almost received 50% of our initial 100 shares in return, so that's not bad. 1386 is the average and 924 is the current. This has a 110.5% return. So you should get 100% of you should double your shares in a year. As you can see, we are down quite a bit. It was at 1573, and then everybody knows what happened in politics. This is the drop, and now look at that nice recovery. So we're only down 649 and 178.22. The payments of this was a good payment, as you can see, because it went up from last month, so your payment should go up. Hopefully the guys doing the covered calls did their jobs right, and it looks like they did. So 70 is back up here where the price was in the $15 range. So we're actually doing pretty good to get this much dividend on a lower cost when they're only getting 71 cents when it was at $15.53. So volatility in the market is a good thing for covered calls. 32.79 is our percent with, and 28.19 is without. TSMY, 126.75 shares. 1930 average and 1523 current. So this one's keeping its share value to average, so that's not bad. 62% return is pretty good. We're only down 515. We have 126.75. We have lost 567 a share, and we're only down 159.60 in total value. Because remember, if this was 567 off your 100 shares, that would be $567, so we haven't lost that much. It's because the dividends reinvesting are really protecting us. We also did have a good payment up in the 78s. As you can see, 60, upper 50s, low 60s has been its average of the last 5. This one's at 20.89% return and 19.04 without drip. XO 114.53. We have a 15.32 average. 12.92 is the current. This one's down 274 on this one. As you can see on mine, it's only down 75.27. That's because I don't do the count this as money invested. 114.53 shares at 12.92 gives us 14.79.30 or 73 is our total investment. Let's see, we're 12.79 return. Let's see, the dividend was 44 cents, 39.76. The payment was 44.18, which gives us the 12.79 and the 12.11. Last but not least, Bitcoin. Bitcoin did well recently, so let's see how we've done. 138.44 for shares, pretty good. 13.32 average, 10.58 current. We're down 3.79 on this one. And look at that, we've got some green on the map. We got 138 shares, 138.44 at 10.58, which means we have $1,464.70 on this investment. We have, as you can see, we've lost $3.57 a share, but because of the dividend reinvestment, we are actually above our initial investment at $49.70. It had a great payment because Bitcoin did good, and we're back up here to where it was at the higher price. So that's a good thing. We received $100 over $100. So 111.26 was the dividend payment. Got us to 429.26, 30.34 is with drip, and 26.62 is without. That is Group A. Let's take a peek ahead. Next week will be Group B will pay on Friday. And Group B is a little better. It has 2 in the green. Palantir, which has been on a tear, so that's good. And then gold miners, so that one's been doing good. This one's a lot closer between the market value and the cost basis. You can see it's only 3,116 down, and we did make 233.51 Friday. So that is Group A for this series. I will hopefully see you in the next video. If you do me a favor, if you've made it this far, hit the like, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and have a great week.